Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is Kristen from betweenbothworlds.org. Let's ask our angels, saints, and ancestors and guides into our space to provide love and divine messages for our highest, greatest good. We are surrounded in divine white light and love. Tap in, let me know you're here and present to receive a message. Tapping in means connecting, saying yes to receive, and allowing. You can also like, share, comment, and subscribe to support the channel. Sign up on betweenbothworlds.org for our events, our community, and to book a reading with me. Let's get into the collective energy. All right, we got some May energy. What's happening? What's the advice? Okay, we have 5 of Wands. So there's conflict for King of Cups. Okay, I feel like there's look at how these fell. All right, so the King of Cups is almost falling from grace as it relates to a lot of drama going on. It could also be a group. Okay, maybe there's a fallout from a group that they used to belong with. I have the Page of Cups also in the side position, so I feel like, this Page of Cups and this King of Cups is it's almost like they're an older masculine energy, but they're very emotionally immature. I'm getting this group is emotionally immature. I'm also getting that there could be an interest in maybe apologizing to you. They may be figuring out that those that they once trusted, they no longer can trust with the 5 of Wands. I'm getting there's a lot of fighting, competition, chaos going on here. I feel like with the 7 of Pentacles, someone may have invested in something that you may know about but don't know all the details about. I am getting communication might be, or the energy is picking up. I feel like this is an interesting format. I love it. I'm going to keep it. But I feel like, the reality of the situation is that somebody thought that whatever they worked towards was going to pan out for them. And it seems like that's the opposite of what's happening. There's this 9 of Wands energy at the bottom of the deck. So this is somebody who feels like they're wounded in some way. This is everyone else's fault but theirs. They may be having a hard time realizing all of the things behind them is as a result of a cause and effect. Okay, so this is lessons being learned, right? And challenges in life. And sometimes the challenges we experience in life actually align us to our purpose, but I feel like they're too much in their wounded energy to have that kind of perspective. Okay, I do have a Queen of Swords and I have a 7 of Cups. So I feel like there's someone in the energy, could be an air sign, doesn't have to be though, but I'm getting someone sees things clearly regardless of what's sent their way. This could be black magic, this could be lies, deceit, making wishes, or creating some sort of confusion. There's this energy to kind of cut through whatever shadow energy this is, or even things that are tied to the earthly realm, earthly desires. I feel like someone has clarity regarding all of this and can see through this. That might be a disadvantage for somebody. Maybe that's why there's a 9 of Wands, because they know that there's truth, there's clarity, there's information out there about maybe what someone claims they did not do but actually did. I feel like there was a lot of illusions casted by this energy, and I'm getting it's a King of Cups who's in the sideways position and a Page of Cups and this group. Okay, they may have worked together to have some sort of financial growth or development. Maybe they put a lot of effort into something and they were hoping something was going to grow, or someone went to something because they thought they were going to financially benefit, and that was the motivation. I feel like the group knows everything over here. They know what this person's been up to. There could be a child involved here, or this could have been about a child. But I'm getting like this group's very immature, okay? And I'm getting like someone here, this is representing somebody, something where there's clarity here, there's truth here, there's insight. All right, so there's insight playing out here. And maybe you know the truth, regardless of what stories they want to believe themselves. I'm getting like delusion. Someone might be a bit delusional about what's really the situation. Maybe someone's played and worn a lot of false masks, or they entertain a lot of people, or they've had options. Maybe they put a Queen of Swords in a situation where they were having to compete for this person's attention. They were operating from a shadow, a trauma place, and they were like swindled. They were baited. They fell for the bait, okay? This is someone who has to entertain many options in order to feel good about themselves, because it feeds the ego here with the shadow self energy. All right, I got the Six of Wands. I have the Death card. And then I have the Magician. So what I'm getting with this is that there's, due to the ability to receive direct messages, clarity, insight, clear knowing, if you will, in order to navigate any kind of illusions of the 3D reality, there is victory and success here. There is moving on and having support. Okay, you're supported by the community, you're supported by your peers, you're supported in your environment. I feel like you've overcome many challenges and you are the victor in this situation. I do have the Death card. So this talks about a major transformation. It also talks about things ending so that there can be new beginnings. So there's a massive accomplishment that came with this. And it has something to do with like consciousness. See all that energy flowing? It's represented as water. This is consciousness, higher consciousness. And so there's this connection now as it results to your experience here, and you've mastered a skill with the Magician. You've alchemized, you've transmuted, you've manifested something to end and something new to begin as well. And you've gone through a transformation, and what I'm getting is this is like enlightenment. This is ascension. This is you mastering your earthly experience here and now realizing like you're the creator of your own reality. And so this is like you manifesting your desires, and you are free and clear from any illusions of the 3D reality, which is mastering the earthly realm. So congratulations to you. I have the Lovers. This was over a relationship that you might have had with this person. I feel like there's regret here. There's shame. Someone is maybe being outed out of a group, or being talked about in the group, or being judged by a group. And I feel like they're hiding, they're cloaking, they're in shame energy here for maybe what's transpired. Someone could be wearing a mask. Someone is realizing the commitment that they entered was false and under false pretense. Okay, they did have shame also for leaving a commitment that was a divine, with a divine being here. The Sun card talks about, you know, this energy leaving something, right, that seems to be related here with the Sun. There was a contract here. There was a soulmate or divine contract here, okay? They were supposed to work on something together, something important, and they chose a third party instead, and as a result, they forfeited their contract with this Sun energy, with this Magician here. That's what I'm getting. Okay, so now their back is to this, and what's playing out here? Okay, and then we have, the Wounded Warrior energy. We have the Two of Swords, so there's an indecision, there's confusion, there's illusions, there's the shadow side. I feel like now this energy is being required to go within for guidance. Okay, they're being blinded. They're currently in a situation where they don't see the way out of it. They feel very trapped, maybe even afflicted in some way from their situation. I'm getting like the moon is highlighting things within their subconscious to come to the surface so that they can gain the clarity that they need as to what truly transpired here. I feel like this energy doesn't necessarily want to do that introspection, but what I'm getting is there very well could be something that is a catalyst for this introspection. With the moon card, I'm getting like there was a lot of things done for personal to like almost like cloak, hide. I'm getting a lot of cloaking. I'm getting a lot of false masking. I'm getting a lot of like not really willing to take the blame for actions taken here. Not seeing things clearly or having the ability to tap into intuition or any of their extrasensory perceptions here. I'm feeling this moon energy is, they don't have clarity on their path here. They're also lacking or in an energy of fear and anxiety, and that manifests. And I'm getting like maybe that's partly why we're in the Nine of Wands energy. All of this is going to serve a purpose though, which is maybe the clarity that they're going to get. Their lessons, their karmic debt here as well, very much could contribute to their soul's growth if they are willing to see through their fear. I feel like fear is keeping this energy trapped and stuck and unable to see clearly. Okay, and then I have a Two of Cups, right? That's this Two of Cups. Okay. I'm also getting there very much could be a blockage here from being able to come back into your energy. They may be thinking about a reunion, but what I'm getting is that like with the World card here, like this contract is over. And as a result of that, like there's something that's starting from scratch. Okay, something is being created. This is, the first card in the major arcana. So this represents like something major has been completed here. And, this is representing like there's new creation over here. So this is kind of like what's playing out for this person and whatever contracts they've created here that they now have to deal with. Okay. And I feel like you're not part of this per se, like your contract here with this group, family, whatever that is, persons, is over. Yeah, I'm getting like King of Wands. So this would be a new partnership. Okay, could be fire sign or could just be very passionate and in the purpose. Okay, I feel like there's this abandonment energy here too. So let's see what that is. Four of Cups. I guess, once this new energy comes into your reality, switch it, flip it, you know the deal. If it's a queen, a king, don't get so caught up on the genders, but take it for what it is. Like whoever, thought that they could play games with you is learning difficult lessons with those that they are around. You could not be in their energy for quite some time, 3 months, 3 years, could be even longer than that. But what I'm getting is that a lot has transpired, okay? Just like a lot has transpired for you. They don't have access to you. This is almost like a no contact situation. So, they're feeling unsatisfied and unhappy in their situation. And so they very much want to, explore other options, right? Because we saw the Seven of Cups. That's what they do. They always are looking for, you know, an opportunity, right? And having options is opportunity. So this person could be someone who kind of like, you know, operates according to, you know, what they can, you know, the coattail riding and the pretending to be and the shape shifting and the betrayal and the deceit and you not being able to be authentic. There seems like they're always hiding something, that kind of energy. Okay, so those are things that this energy is going to be tasked, they're going to be tasked with working on these things until they're resolved and they're no longer operating from a place of trauma. Because this is someone who also can be operating from a place of trauma, and it's like they bring it everywhere they go. They create their own blockages here, and they also can create like they like wall people out so they can have control, is what I'm getting. So sometimes they may be someone who manipulates others so that, you know, they can be in a certain type of position and that sort of thing. So we'll get more on that. I do have a 9 of Cups. So, you know, with this new energy coming in, right, 2 of Cups here, I'm getting that this energy is going to have experiences where, you know, there is this abandonment, there is this despair, and feeling like, you know, they've missed an opportunity, and the investments they made, you know, really caused strife in their life. Oh, that rhymed. Okay. So there's that. And I'm also getting like you've been here as well. Like you've been through this process. I'm also getting it's potentially also something similar to maybe this person going through that process. So I'm getting like there's this like duality here. Okay. So we'll get more on that. 10 of Pentacles. Generational wealth, abundance, stability, security for life, right? The Star card. And then we have an Ace of Pentacles and a Hierophant and a 9 of Swords. Let's see what the story is. Then we have a flipped over Page of Swords. Wow, that's 10 swords here. Someone's being haunted. I feel like someone's spirit guides, ancestors, the divine, some sort of like spirit. It has a lot to do with like spiritual beliefs, okay? So someone is being affected by that. That could be returned fire for an attack, a spiritual attack. Could be returned fire. That's this person's realizing maybe they didn't realize who they're fighting, and it's a higher, very high level Hierophant. Okay, so this would be like a high priest. So, okay, they're being dealt with by a high priest. All right, so if they think that they're backsided, having your name in their mouth is going to benefit, or if they're spell casting, guess what? That shit is being returned back to them, 9 of Swords, okay, by a high priest. So, you know, if they want to keep messing around, you know, it's not going to end well for them. All right. They don't realize who they're battling. Okay. So there's that. Whoever's sending shit or saying shit, even just talking, like, you don't know who you're talking about, right? Like, watch your mouth. All right. Watch your mouth, right? So I feel like that's kind of that's like a lesson learned here, right? It's like the more they talk, it's almost like the more they're experiencing, or there's just things that are being like, it's almost like someone now is talking about them. And I'm getting like it's this group. I'm getting like it's this 5 of Wands here. I feel like this 5 of Wands group is now talking negatively about this person, and they're feeling judged based on what's transpired, okay? And here's the thing, like, you're not even in the mix here, right? Like, it's like you're not involved. You don't want to be involved. Like, this is something that you've put to rest already. I feel like they still are like, operating in this. Okay, Ten of Pentacles. I feel like someone feels ashamed for what they did for the sake of gain. Like it's almost like they sold their soul for money, is what I'm getting. And then they're realizing that the blessing, okay, the generational wealth that they've been so coveting is actually with this star energy. The star energy has gone through a complete healing process and is able to regenerate as well as bless that forward. So there's this in tune, like they're in tune with the universe. They're connected to the universe, the laws of the universe, the energy of the universe, and is able to like create a ripple effect just by, working and being in their own energy, right? This is, reciprocation, right? It also can be wishes coming true. It can be if you're, really looking for an opportunity, this is it. I feel like there's something that's coming that is like custom made. I feel like it's special. It's important. You've taken all the necessary steps needed to learn and apply what you came here to learn and apply. You very much could be helping others now in some way, or feeling the call to help others in some way, and you aligning with your higher purpose here, okay, towards your destiny. Ten of Pentacles. Okay, I feel like something's coming in that you are going to just love. All right, and it's going to be a fresh start, and it's very deserving. You deserve a fresh start after everything that you have experienced here. Okay, so it's like you graduated and now here's that first job, right? It's kind of like a movement like that. It's like a life-changing movement is what I'm getting. And what you've been through has been life-changing. And that's being observed, that what you've been through, you have really made a lot of changes in your life. Okay, there's been a lot of healing done. Okay, and so and are familiar with that process. So you have this ability to kind of bring that energy with you now. You hold the light. Okay, you're holding the light over here. And so it tells me that, all that healing work and all of that, and it's constant, guys. Like, there's never like a done deal, right? It's continuous improvement. Okay, that's what we're here on Earth for, continuous improvement. And it's like you're doing a great job. Okay, it's like you figured a lot out, all right, and so you're in a really good position. Okay, you're in a better position than, the people who you left behind. And for good reason. I feel like you learned the spiritual lesson and they're learning theirs. Okay, the Hierophant, the High Priest, this energy and those that are associated with them are going to learn their own spiritual lessons. Okay, so in some way, somehow, like when people come across you, now they know that you will leave their life and they will be a different person. Okay, so it's kind of like, you could take it or leave it, right? But regardless, you're kind of going to leave a mark. You leave a mark, okay, on people in a good way or a bad way. Either way, it's for the greater good, okay? It's for healing, okay? So you may be a healer, and when people interact with you or have friendships with you or who are blessed to receive your love in any kind of way, I feel like you forever change them in some way. So I don't know if people say that about you, or you feel really common to them. Maybe they tell you a lot about like their life, and you're just really supportive and you hold space for people. And yeah, this is really good news here. You're about to receive really good news. And then I'm also getting like this energy, right? They're in the position they're in from the actions that they took, all right? So I feel like you have 9 wands. Here's your 10th wand. So there's been a pattern repeating over and over and over again. And eventually, you have to deal with that. There's like a consequence here for that. Okay, kind of like needing to space my cards a little bit. Yeah, but I feel like there's news coming out, in other words. So depending on who's receiving it and who's sharing it, it could be good news, it could be bad news. I feel like there's news, period, here. Period, exclamation mark. Let's see what else this Page of Wands. Maybe the Page of Wands can tell us what it's going to talk about or say in the message. Thank you, Page of Wands. A Fool. So, ooh, so this is like, I'm seeing purity here. I'm seeing been through a purification process, also with the Star here. Because this would be like working on cleansing, okay, clearing and purifying the soul and replenishing, okay, so it's like being able to be connected to source. And then here is this beautiful being walking in light, feeling free, feeling innocent, maybe even naive, but still taking the lessons with them as they go on this adventure. And there's a cliff here, so sometimes it's like, you know, don't forget to look down and just, you know, pay attention, because sometimes we can get lost in the illusion of things, right? Like the illusion of like they're not on a cliff and they may not die. So I feel like there's that. There's this energy of really being affected by someone else's ability to be free from them. So there's that too. I keep seeing the Four of Swords, so I feel like there could be a bit of mental anguish here. High Priestess. All right, so High Priestess energy. Let's see what's hidden. High Priestess energy, where there's this higher self. Okay, so someone has liberated themselves, right, from the lower densities of the earthly realm, and has able to figure out how to awaken and ascend and be in their higher consciousness and work with their higher self. And this is kind of like a fresh round, a new start, a new adventure playing out here. That's what this Page of Wands is talking about. So this High Priestess energy, so high intuition, right? Here to anchor in prosperity. Okay, there's the Eight of Swords. There's this energy that keeps wanting to prevent this from happening, right? See these swords. These swords can either be self-inflicted, right? Like letting things get the best of you, your thoughts, your mindset, right? Like your mind manifests. So the all is mind, the universe is mental. There's this understanding of this. There's a need to teach this, right? So this High Priestess might be able to speak on this so that it helps others free themselves and be liberated. So I'm getting like, because I do have the World card and the Eight of Swords, so I feel like there's like this like advice, or you know, someone freeing themselves and not getting stuck and letting what's already happened keep them from being in their purpose. Okay, so there's a bit of that. This also can represent like someone wanting to bind somebody from being able to do what they came here to do. All right, so there also could be a bit of liberation from that as well, because there's some guidance here, right? Stuff that may be hidden, unknown, unseen, like esoteric wise, okay? So there could have been a bit of like someone was freed after they were bound by these energies. So this was also kind of like a, what's the word I'm looking for? Initiation, maybe? Like being able to get out of something like this took immense courage, strength, all right, abilities even. Okay. Oop, I just saw the Justice card. Justice card, Queen of Cups. Hold on, let me just confirm they want the Queen of Cups. Do you want the Queen of Cups? Okay. So there's justice playing out as it relates to a Queen of Cups. So this would be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So there very well could be someone bound. All right. Or someone facing some sort of spiritual jail of some kind. And that might also be playing out in the physical realm. I have justice being served, and I have someone who's surrounded by what it looks like bars, and they are, it's almost like someone's abilities might be revoked, or someone abused their abilities to do harm, and there's someone being held accountable here for the spiritual warfare, or there will be. All right. Is that what you want to say? All righty then. Got that. Thank you. Yeah. Part of your justice is being able to move on and have equal reciprocity in your relationships, your partnerships, your family dynamics. And if you've been working on attracting love into your life, this could be that. Okay, and that's your justice, okay? And so that's beautiful. So yeah, I would say that like there's definitely, and again, like the Eight of Swords talks about our own limitations about ourselves, like our subconscious mind, and our ego and our fears and our anxieties, and having these control and manipulate us so that we don't do the things that we really on a spirit level want to do. And so this also talks about self-limiting beliefs and either moving past them or staying within their bounds. So I feel like this could be representing like envy, jealousy, feeling trapped in a situation or wanting that for somebody else. Okay. So someone's like insecurities very much could have been like projected through ill will in some way. And as a result of that, like that's being dealt with on the spiritual realm. Okay, especially if they abuse their power. All right, and that's the justice here. And then I have a Queen of Cups, a King of Pentacles. So they may have, these are the two that are being held into account. Okay, so there's a King of Pentacles. So this, in this instance, seems to be maybe someone being represented as very much wanting the material realm, like the experience of that. So we'll see. Okay, is this an upright? This is in reverse. Okay, so we have the Seven of Wands in reverse. So they're having to defend themselves now. Okay, or they can't defend themselves for what they did for money with a Queen of Cups. That's part of the justice as well. I feel like the two of them are not able to have stable footing or stable ground or be able to stand their ground or position. I feel like they have fallen from their position in some way. Yeah, I feel like they came after a magician. Or they didn't know that a magician protects them. One of the two. All right. Yeah, I feel like there's this realization, right, that people know what this couple did or this group. I feel like there's many involved here about what they did to try to like bring somebody down, right? It's almost like somebody wanted to take someone else down a notch and they went to great lengths to try to do so. And they wanted someone to fall. Okay, and they wanted them to stay fallen. But I'm getting like they're the ones who put that energy out. Okay, it's like a self limitation, like their own insecurity created this, and as a result, like this is what's being presented in their life now. This is it's like the cause and the effect, right? Like if you want to think that and say that and speak that and, you know, spew the venom, well, you know, you're going to get bit by the snake too. Like, I don't know what that saying is, but, you know, you're going to be SOL. Okay. I feel like there's energy here that is SOL. You know, you're manifesting for the future. You're working on what you came here to do as part of your soul's mission. You're not looking back in the sense of like, you care in the sense that, like, you know, certainly you pray for them all and you hope that they learn their lessons and they can join us all while, you know, we create a better future for our children and for generations to come, instead of like getting stuck in all this like bullshit, right? So I feel like you pray for them in that sense. However, you know, you've got to do what you came here to do. And you can't stay back in the past. You have to move forward. And you've made that commitment and you're on that path. And things are, you know, coming to fruition. You know, this is the Three of Wands. And so 1, 2, 3s are like, you know, putting things together for the sake of creation. And I feel like what you've created, you've built, and it will be very stable and secure if it isn't already. So, and this is also like a sense of adventure. So it's time to kind of like explore what's next for you. And, you know, what does that life look like? So let's get more info. All right, what's life looking after this happens? For the collective, for their highest and greatest good, Spirit, please. Thank you. Ooh, little puppies. Ooh, okay. Is this for this? Okay. So there's a Page of Pentacles here, and it's blockage. So there's no new start for this energy here. What I'm getting is that there are lessons to still learn, and that's where that's going to stay. Okay, so we're gonna go on to the next. Okay, look at Five of Swords. Okay, I guess we're not done. Five of Swords. Okay, so there's still this, like, you know, this, it's almost like I'm burping because of the energy. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. But sometimes when I get like the energy, I feel the energy, I know it's like I'm transmuting it. I mean, this is some slander. This is some defamation of character. I feel like maybe this is happening to them now after they all, you know, banded together to do it to you. I feel like now this is happening to them, is what I'm getting. Maybe they're also realizing like they were tricked. They fell for, you know, the trip. I feel like they got swindled in some way. I feel like someone else is getting swindled now. For you, we were picking up on the Three of Wands, and here's the Four. So this is that foundation. Like, if you build it, they will come. And, you know, it's time to celebrate your life. It's time to appreciate how far you've come. And there are some things that, yeah, I mean, we still are going to go through experiences of the earthly realm, but I feel like you've reached another milestone in your life, and it's time to enjoy the fruits of your labor and, you know, continue to have faith on your journey. Everything is, you know, for you if you can really work on being in alignment. So 2-2 or 2-2-2 might be relevant, or 11-11 or 4-4-4. So this also can be like union. Okay, so it's like someone else has the pieces of the puzzle that you may need. So you might be going on some sort of quest, or you might be coming in contact with somebody who has, you know, their past life, you know, and they're looking forward to starting a new chapter in their life too. So I feel like the two of you are in similar positions. This is somebody new coming in. It could be feminine or masculine, but I'm getting like learning major lessons here in reaching a milestone, and then being able to embark on something new, so that there's new lessons, new soulmates, new experiences to be had. And then underneath this Four of Wands, I have the Ten of Cups. So I feel like things are looking really amazing here. And so, this is what you deserve. This is what you've manifested. This is what you've worked very hard for. This can translate to numerous things for people. Like, it could be a new job. It could be you want to travel and move abroad, or you're working on some sort of project, or, you own a store and you're, putting out new products, or, you're dating and you found the one, or, this could also be family related. So, your situation best. But generally speaking, collective reading wise, like, this is really good news, y'all. Good things coming, good things coming. So I think I'm going to stop it there. I feel like, this has been a story, right? Like, it's also been many of our stories. So, I'm grateful. There's so much that we have learned, right? Individually and actually collectively, if you really think about it. And it's just amazing to go through these experiences and to be able like understand why, right? Like that understanding of that, sometimes not, it can be painful, but the value there is just, it's immense. So I know many of you have been, wanting a break from the learning and you want more fun in your life. I'm getting that's coming. Okay. I feel like this is like choosing happiness, right? Understanding that, like, yeah, earth life can be difficult, but there's always good and the bad. Like, it's the blending. It's like how you look at things, right? You can choose to focus on the negative, or you can choose to focus on the positive. And I feel like collective, you've figured that out. You guys have figured it out. So kudos to you. I'm grateful for you all. Hi to everybody. And let's see. Yeah, I think this was a really amazing message today. And I hope it finds you all well. Sending out all kinds of love. And I'll see you on the next one.